Hi guys, Hellville here. Well, oops, that turned around a little bit. Um, I am actually not sure anyone's here yet. But I did want to just start out with something that I really liked that another creator did. Melissa Jade, she hasn't been on in a while. I hope everything is going okay with her. I think she's fairly local to me. I don't know where exactly she is, but I think she said she's in New York. So, anyways, I hope everything is going well with her. Hi Wallace. Okay, good. Yes, I have viewer. um, yeah, so something she did, and if you're here from the like Owens verse, something she did on her streams was every stream she had a missing child from around the US that she would highlight. And not to sound like an evil bitch, but I just don't really like kids, which I don't want any harm to befall them, don't get me wrong. But I'm not passionate about that specifically. I am extremely passionate about animals. So I will be sharing an animal of the stream if I get my crap together early enough prior to streams to actually get that going. So, that being said, um, today's missing fur baby of the day. Uh, where's the appropriate screen? There are so very many. I have tab overconsumption issues. Okay. Also, I will eventually, if I ever get around to it, be adding creators that I take inspiration from um into the descriptions of my videos. Hi Winks. Hi. Um so anyways, plans. So here we go. Our first um found, actually, yeah, I think I ended up doing found animal of the day. Maybe it's a little happier or sadder, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But this gorgeous fur baby um was found in New York City. Started out local because apparently it gleaned my IP address location. So there's that. And she is currently located at 326 100 East 110th Street, New York, New York. So if you recognize this dog, if you know whose dog this is, if they're looking for her, please let them know. She is brown, medium, mixed. I'm sensing a little bit of pit bull. That is honestly my future ideal dog type. She is absolutely gorgeous and clearly very scared. You could tell by the tuck tail. So make sure if you recognize her to get her picture out there, or contact the person who might have lost her, or even just sharing it probably helps so it can reach more people. So just make sure um, to do that if you can. Um, I'm sure she would very much appreciate that. That being said, there's four of us. We will get started on the first Reddit story of the day. I am going to try to keep this one under 3 hours. I know I said that last time, but I digress. Um, so this Reddit story, and again, I'm going to try to pull as many Reddit stories as possible from Best of Reddit or updates, because they're the GOAT. And also because I really like conclusions. I really like updates. Updates make me really excited. Yes, Best of Reddit or updates is where I got this. My boyfriend, 25 male, won't ask for my hand, and my dad, 48 male, is staging. Oh, I forgot to turn my volume off. One sec. My ADD will go crazy, much like Greg Woodnick's. when people enter or leave the Teams meeting. And my dad is staging a family boycott my wedding. That's not really the boycott is the wedding? That's confusing. That's very poorly written. But anyways, is my boyfriend being selfish? You're I mean, doesn't say how old she is. I'm assuming it's a she. It could be not a she, I guess. But if you're using old towny language of he's not asking for my hand, I'm assuming you're a girl. So I dare say, um, judging the title alone, which is what I like to do first, and then see where the story takes us, is I would say, um, you are probably around 25 as well. Cool your tits. Uh, I don't know. I mean, you've been dating for 3 years, but at that age, you met him when your prefrontal cortex wasn't even fully formed yet, and well, assuming your age is around his, if not, his certainly was not. So, I'd say slow your roll, cool down, tell your dad to, like, back off. That is absolutely crazy. Um, but anyway, on to the story, on to the story. And Wallace says, I presume boycott of the OP's wedding because the boyfriend didn't jump through the hoop of asking formal permission. Oh, then why would she say boyfriend and not fiance? I've been working since really early. My brain is fried. I will make an excuse for my brain on every single stream. Maybe they might be different excuses too. So, anyways, yeah, that could be it. That could be it. I mean, I still think just for the title, I still think get the dad to back off. Also we are imbibing tonight. It is wine and it is Wednesday. It's wine Wednesday. So wine not. Mm, my favorite. And just to share a little bit of my nerdiness, this is Mischief Managed. If you know, you know. Because I'm a nerd. Okay, so I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years. We both just finished school and are finally ready for marriage. He proposed last week. Oh, okay, there we go. And I happily said yes. I didn't read further than the title. That's the issue there. I could not be happier. I love him and he's going to be an awesome dad someday. But my boyfriend is very new school and my dad is kind of old school. My dad was beyond mad that my boyfriend didn't ask my dad for my hand before proposing. My dad said he was willing to hear my boyfriend's apology if my boyfriend formally asked for my hand at dinner, that my dad said he will pay for at the restaurant of my boyfriend's choosing. My dad feels like he is being very accommodating. Honestly, I do think that's fairly accommodating, for an angry dad who was not asked permission for his daughter's hand as if she's worth 3 goats and an ox cart or something. Um, you know, I think that is being fairly accommodating. He's even paying for the dinner. He just wants to be asked. All right, well, you can't always get what you want, but if you try, sometimes you get what you need. I don't know if he needs this though. I don't know. I feel like OP could also kind of tell the dad, like, I don't want him asking you for my hand. I find that very antiquated, and that could kind of quash the entire issue maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know these people. But anyways, he will bring my boyfriend's favorite wine to celebrate. That's also very nice. I spoke to my boyfriend last night and he won't budge. He doesn't believe on that tradition. I mean, there are a lot of people that don't believe in that tradition. I don't think I'm worth 3 goats in an ox cart. However, I think if I met the right guy, I not so much asking permission, but just like seeking the blessing, which is different in my opinion. I think that's actually very different. I think asking for my dad's blessing is definitely something that I would appreciate my future partner to do before putting a nice big rock on my finger. So that's my thought anyways. My boyfriend showed me an article online where a Pakistani woman was stoned to death outside a courthouse. Oh my God, because she married a man against her family's wishes. This just happened. My boyfriend, who witnessed his father be abusive and possessive with his mom as a child, has always felt strongly that women are not property. Okay, so he has some trauma around this. Oh my gosh. I just realized I am not sharing the right tab. And then I saw the little doohickey that Llama was trying to tell me about on my last stream that I couldn't find. So I'm very happy that I found that. um, Wallace says, I do worry OP is stuck between two men who are more worried about being right than her feelings. That's actually a really phenomenal point. Very well thought out there. Yeah, I think that is definitely a possibility, unfortunately. Um, and if neither of them are going to budge, what's she gonna do? Like, it seems though that it's not even really being stuck between two men. I mean, they're kind of putting her in the middle, but she's not exactly in the middle. I think she's kind of erring closer to her boyfriend's side of things because if she was truly in the middle, she would be more upset, I think, that he didn't ask her dad for permission as well. Like she would maybe have that in her mind a little bit too. So that's my thought there. But she's somewhere in the middle. I just think she's a little bit closer to the boyfriend side because I don't think she'd be that elated if she truly was smack in the middle of them. I think her dad's being a little bit, while being accommodating to get what he wants, I think he is being a little bit unreasonable thus far in the story. Anyway, and again, there's trauma around why the boyfriend thinks this way. So that I can sympathize with. It actually really creams my corn when people use empathize and sympathize incorrectly. A lot of people who have not been through something, they say, I empathize with that. You can say, I have empathy for that. Because I'm an empathetic person. But if you have an experience, you have sympathy for it. So anyway, that's something that's always bothered me that people do. And yeah, no one has said it yet. I'm wearing horns tonight. I realized that there were a few people that voted in my original stream post where I made a poll asking if I should wear horns or not, and it was 100% yes. So here I am. It's a horny Wednesday night over here. So I'm assuming also they're in Pakistan. So boyfriend thinks the tradition of asking for her hand is repulsive. His point is that he's met my whole family. He's gotten to know them. He says they have always known his intentions, and he never made it a secret that he was in love with me and wanted to marry me and have children. He feels he has done enough to announce his intentions, and all of them seem to approve of him. He says at this point, he only needs my approval to marry him and nobody else's. That's a fair point. So yesterday my mom told me that my dad, who is not even speaking to me because I won't set my foot down with my boyfriend, is calling the whole family and telling them not to attend my wedding. Oh, that's heartbreaking. How quickly is the turnaround on this wedding anyway? That's very fast. If he just proposed like a week ago, that would be a very, very fast turnaround for a wedding. I mean, if that's the case, congratulations. Oh, I wonder if I can. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. I was trying to like make me a little bit bigger, but I don't think I can. Whatever. Anyway. um So yesterday, my mom told me my dad, who is not even speaking to me because I won't set my foot down with my boyfriend, is calling the whole family, telling them not to attend my wedding. And for the mom to do that, oh, the dad is doing that. My mom told me that my dad, who's not speaking to me, is calling the whole family. Okay, the dad is calling the family. My mom says my boyfriend is the one treating me like property by not letting me have a say in his decision to not observe a tradition that my two older sisters' husbands observed. Just because something is a tradition doesn't mean that it needs to stand and it needs to continue every single time with every person. Wallace says, "Oh, my opinion is definitely shifting to pro boyfriend now. The dad sounds very petty." Yeah, see, I kind of gleaned that right away. Not that I'm more intuitive than you. You've made some very intuitive points, honestly. Just more so, I've seen so many of these stories, and also I am a very empathetic person. So I'm also like really good at predicting or like reading people's feelings based on certain words that are used. So I don't know why. I've always been good at that. And so that's kind of where I thought it was going. Um but, yeah, so, I told my mother that I understand where my boyfriend is coming from, that I've decided to do away with the tradition of him asking for my hand. So my mother is obviously mad and said that I should be ready for serious consequences. I asked her what, and she would not say. I really hope they're not gonna meet her outside the courthouse and stone her like the other lady. Um But from talking to my sister, she said that they would blackball us from all family gatherings. My 2 sisters and my mom have told me my boyfriend is being selfish. No, he's being actually quite selfless, putting himself kind of in harm's way to in a different way. He's kind of fighting for her honor. I can see why she wants to marry him. I mean, it seems that way. It could be a selfish reason, but I honestly think if anything, it even if it is not in the way of defending her honor, I still think it's very much like, you know, it's due to trauma. He has a lot of trauma around the tradition, and I think that's, like, okay that he doesn't want to participate in that tradition that brings up trauma for him, which is the most selfish way he could do it, but if it's a trauma thing, it's still not that selfish, really. Way less selfish than anything any Owens has ever done. Um, anyway, I need to start highlighting wherever I leave off to go on a tangent. Um, serious consequences. My 2 sisters and mom told me my boyfriend is being selfish. The wedding is set for August 9th. I'm worried that nobody in my family will attend my wedding. Do you want them there? Do we want them there? I don't know. Is it a loss? I mean, it's sad if your family can't come to your wedding, but it's not that they can't, it's that they won't. And if they don't respect you and your boyfriend enough to put their petty crap aside, then do you want them there? They could cause more drama on the day by being there. Um, Edit. I'm getting some comments about my boyfriend asking for my parents' blessing instead of permission. Okay, see, that's what I said right at the beginning. Um, Instead of permission or hand. I just can't see the difference. There might be one, but I don't see it. Is there a big difference? I think so. I think it kind of satisfies both traditions in a way, or both sides of the coin in a way, because it's kind of like you're not asking permission. You're just asking, like, you know, do you approve? Not, I feel like permission is an ultimatum, and it's insinuating someone's I don't know. I feel like it's different. I can't articulate why, but I feel like it's just different. Um, but anyway, the update. They didn't even include any comments or anything. The wedding went on as planned. My parents stuck to their guns and boycotted. That's so sad. One of my 2 sisters attended. That's so nice. And is now happily blacklisted from our family. Oh god. What a crappy family. Who wants to be part of that? Nobody else from my entire family showed up, including my 2 brothers. Hydrate. That's very heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking, but it's on them. It's on them when it comes down to it. They're not going to be involved in your life. They're not going to be involved in, if you have children, in their lives. It's on them. Um, the wedding was a little unconventional. My sister walked my husband down the aisle, and then his sister walked me down the aisle. Oh, sweet. I wanted this because my sister-in-law actually introduced us and helped me get my first date with him. That's so cute. There was no question about who gives away the bride or even about any objections. It was normal other than that. There has been no contact between me and my family other than my one sister. My mother has made it a point to send me a card every time they have a family gathering for holidays or birthdays at their house to let me know that my father says I'm not invited. What a bitch. She doesn't have to reach out. Like, either cut it off or don't cut it off. Like, she doesn't have to reach out just to taunt her. Like, her mom's an asshole too. Wallace says, I wonder if OP told her parents the context. I mean, they shouldn't need to know it to be kind to the boyfriend, but it makes them even worse if they did. I don't think it's her parents' business. I think it would be for him to tell. But I agree with you. If they did know, that makes it so much worse. That makes it so much worse. Hi, Say Cheese. I'm going to have to watch this on replay crew, but wanted to pop in and show my support. Oh, thank you, Say Cheese. I'll look forward to seeing you in replay crew, and I'm going to want all of you your responses in the comments, please. Thank you. Please and thank you. Okay. So, my mom has made a point to send me a card every time that they have a family gathering for holidays or birthdays at their house to let me know that my father says I'm not invited because they're both assholes. I get one almost every month. I mean, God, move. Just move. I don't even read them anymore. I just toss them. That's a good idea. I don't know why they keep sending them because I've made no effort to contact them and I live over 3 hours away, so it's not like I will run into them by accident. Fair point. Say Cheese will do. Yeah, I want a comment for, like, tell me about what you think about each of the stories. Definitely this one's pretty interesting so far, so I'm into it and I love an update. The reason I came back to this post here is because some people here made a prediction that came true, that they would come crawling back when we had children. I knew they would do that. Ugh. And I'm now expecting our first child, a girl. She will be the first grandchild for my parents. Well, if they've been no contact, how did the parents find out? She will be the first grandchild for my parents, even though her sisters were both married before her. That makes no sense. But anyways, my parents found out about the pregnancy a few months ago through a family friend. Oh, no longer a family friend, I hope. They didn't waste any time in making demands, not request demands. My boyfriend and I, husband now, no, are not religious, but I had a Catholic upbringing. Oh, okay. They're probably not in Pakistan. I'm assuming. So I don't know how relevant that stoning thing in Pakistan was to the story, so why bring it up? But anyways, they didn't waste any time making demands, not request demands. My boyfriend and I are not religious, but I had a Catholic upbringing. I don't practice at all by choice. My mother called me back in April telling me that my father wanted our daughter's middle name to be his mother's first name. I said no. Why did you answer the phone? This seems self-inflicted at this point. I said no. My father was listening in on speakers, so I went ahead and told them that they were officially uninvited from all birthdays, graduations, and any other important dates in her life. My father called me half an hour later crying and begging me to come stay with them for the birth so my mother could care for me. I said no. Good for you. And also, I'm sure sister-in-law, who introduced you and has supported you every step of the way, will be happy to help you after you give birth. So there's that. He also said that he had already made arrangements for his priest to baptize her at his church, but that I needed to agree to naming her after his mother if I wanted this to happen. He said he had already planned a big celebration for the birth. Oh, how infuriating. Honestly, what's the word? Presumptuous. How presumptuous of him. God, what an ass. Ugh. He already planned a big celebration for the birth and the baptism that he was paying for that she didn't ask for. I said no to all of it. He went from meekly trying to sweet talk me, aka manipulate me, to raising his voice at me, and I hung up. Yeah, he's trying every card in the book, every play in the book to manipulate you. We don't like that. We don't like manipulation. He called a couple more times to apologize for losing his temper and again begged me to reconsider giving birth at a hospital near them so they could visit us. He denied having any knowledge of my mother sending me cards to uninvite us to any family functions, and even said that he specifically asked her to invite us, but he was told I declined every time. Hydrate. um, that might be true. It's possible. If the correspondence was coming from the mom and she was trying to make it seem like it was all the dad's doing, that's also possible. She might be also a manipulative person. That's very possible. Doesn't make him less of an ass. It really doesn't. He lets my mom do the dirty work so he can later hide behind her and deny he had any knowledge. Yeah, exactly. He's done this since I was a little girl. Okay, so she's clocked him. He does this every time he wants to drop the hammer on somebody, but be the good cop also. He'll never change. He denied having any knowledge of why anybody in the family missed my wedding. Oh, okay, sure. I told him our daughter would not be baptized or Catholic at all. No offense to Catholics. That's fair enough. You will raise your child how you want to raise your child. I told him he was too manipulative and controlling, and I didn't want my daughter exposed to that. He's too toxic and just venomous. Oh, I love that word. That's such a good word. Venomous. Yes. Um, Coincidentally, the day and for several days after that phone call, I got tons of calls and emails from my brothers, their wives, my sister, and all my aunts. Oh, how convenient. Oh, let me highlight that so I don't lose my place before I go on a rant. How convenient that all of a sudden all of the people that refused to show up at the wedding or invite her to anything at all are suddenly are contacting her all over the place. What? Anyway, they all wanted to apologize for missing my wedding. They're not sorry. He's just trying to save face. That's what this is. He's trying to save face by having everyone try to apologize to see if that will help his fake apology mean anything, which it doesn't, in my opinion. I like that she's clocking the manipulation though. Um, so they all missed my wedding and all had specific excuses and wanted to make plans to be there for my daughter's birth that no one was invited to. I banned them all from her life until she's old enough to decide for herself to let them in. So 18, I'm imagining. I think that's extremely fair. My husband was a little surprised and not sure about banning everybody forever. He's more leaning towards supervised visits if they want to drive to us. My dad has been calling him like crazy, but we are a united front. Good. My husband is deferring to me, but giving me ideas as to how I can give a little if I decide to. But with my family, there's no giving a little. They want it all. I agree. I know some stuff about being um in situations with narcissists. And it's really tough and it's true if you give an inch, you've given like 35 million light years. um with narcissists, unfortunately, that's just how it is. And yeah, I think it's got to be the only way to keep a narcissist from trying to exert future and more control is to cut it entirely. Um, they feed off of, like, your energy to their negative behavior. So yeah, that's good, and it's also good that husband is deferring to her, and I do like that she finally switched to husband. So that's good. Um, I would keep I'm I'm vindictive, though. I'm vindictive. I would keep Yeah, I would keep it cut. I would. I'm happy to keep someone out of my life if they've wronged me. I don't need that disrupting my peace. So, Wallace said, "Now I think OP's husband is not only right, but may have refused to give in to the dad's demands because of his own abusive traits." Yes, yes, exactly. Poor guy was triggered about marrying into another abusive family. Yeah, I fully agree with that. I think that's very possible. He probably saw a lot of very similar traits. And maybe he was, well, it seems like he was raised in a household where his mother was physically abused as well. Um, but it's still frequently physical and emotional abusers are still displaying very similar traits. So, yeah, I think it's very possible that he happily clocked that. Unhappily, I would imagine clocked that. um, so anyways, I will reconsider when the youngest of our children turns 18. I love that. I love that so much for all of them. For now, my dad will have to settle for sucking up to my husband while I stick to my guns. Unlike him, I don't mind owning my decisions, and even if it means I'm a bad cop. Good. Yes. We have to break the cycle. I'm not ready to give up a relatively drama-free, stress-free life to allow my dad and all his sheep back into our lives. Exactly. It probably has been so much more peaceful without that drama, that narcissism, that abusive behavior, out of their lives. I would also move and change my number. That's what I would want to ensure that my peace is never disturbed and can never be disturbed. I would just want to disappear, really. Um, well, it says, "Yikes, this is why I love wedding horror stories. Reminds me that the little minor inconveniences in my own wedding planning is nothing in comparison." Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of the things that come up in wedding, drama, do manifest in other areas of life. So people think like, "Oh, yeah, it's just because of the wedding," but really they're displaying traits that they are going to be displaying once they're married, or if it's someone else, if it's a parent that's causing all the drama, they're just going to do the same thing once you're married, and if you have kids, they're gonna keep sticking their foot in it in all the wrong ways. So, you know, it's definitely it's definitely interesting because it is very much usually indicative of other things, than just whatever's happening at the wedding. So, um, yeah, that was story number 1. And again, I haven't read these stories, though I do think there's one that I chose that I have read in the past and just has a new update, which is this one. So, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, I'm gonna be reacting to it as if it's the first time I've ever read it, and also I've not seen the update. Um, Now I'm still going to react to the title alone. I purposefully ruined my cousin and ex's wedding, and it's brought me lots of happiness. You read that right. My cousin and ex's wedding. So, not weddings, wedding. Cousin marrying the ex. Not the asshole. This is not a not the asshole or am I the asshole stream, but I'm still determining that sometimes. So here we are. Um, I once looked up to my cousin. I thought he was a great guy and we were close like brothers. I was also dating a girl I was deeply in love with and I was also dating a girl. That could have been a period. I was deeply in love with her and planned to marry her someday. I thought my life was perfect. One day I came home early because a colleague offered to cover my shift. I was pretty tired, so I accepted and went home. Arriving home, I found them in my bed having sex. Just what just what you want to see, what you want to walk in on when you are having a really nice day where you're getting off of work early. Uh, Happy surprise. It always happens that way, doesn't it? Um, Both of them were shocked to say the least. I told them I wanted them to be gone by the time I got back and left the house. They were gone by the time I did get back, but she left me a note telling me she was sorry and to call her when I calmed down. For what purpose? Um, I didn't call her. I text her saying that I'd gather her things up and drop them off at cousins in a few days and that she's staying with him now, not me. I followed through with that. It took about a week to transfer everything. Both of them tried to apologize, but I didn't have anything nice to say to them, so I said nothing. I just knocked on the door, and handed the bags to whoever answered before leaving. Fair, I like it. Gray rocking. Technically a manipulation tactic. Oh my gosh, I'm doing it again. I didn't share the screen. I didn't share the right screen. Okay. I did it again. Share screen. Okay. Sorry. I'm learning. At least I didn't have sound issues today. Um, I mean, I could have sound issues, if I want to. I am Hellville after all. Just a little throwback to was it my second stream? My third stream when I talked like that for half an hour and had no idea. Anyway, yeah, it is technically a manipulation tactic, gray rocking, basically just freezing someone out. But it is also sometimes the only way to um combat a narcissist or an abusive person. So I approve. I approve. I do. Um I used to say sometimes silence is the loudest scream. Take that in. Um, my cousin called me multiple times to try to apologize, but I refused to accept it. Fair. 3 years have passed since then. I went no contact with them. Also fair. I didn't bring it up to the rest of my family or any of their friends, so I'm not sure why. I just didn't. I got a call from a number I didn't recognize, so I answered. It was my cousin. He sounded really happy and acted like he hadn't destroyed my life. I hate his cousin. I do. I hate his cousin. Um he sounded really happy and was acting like he hadn't destroyed my life. He explained he and my ex were getting married and he wanted me to be his best man. I was so angry that he had the utter gall to act like nothing was wrong and lost my temper. I yelled at him and called him names before hanging up. He sent me a text telling me the offer still stood, and if I didn't want to be his best man, then he simply wouldn't have one. You're going to ask the man you forked over to be your best man and have that as your only option? That's ill-advised, my guy. That's ill-advised. Um, yeah. A few days passed by, and I had an idea. I texted him back and apologized. I sent a paragraph of bullshit saying that I was angry, but this could be an opportunity for the three of us to heal and move past it. He was overjoyed and said he'd pay for everything and he'd help me pick out a suit if I wanted, which I accepted because I sure shit wasn't going to spend any money on this stupid wedding if I could help it. Also fair sentiment there. The wedding day came. I had spent the week prior writing a speech, putting all the negative feelings that I had bottled up over the years into words on paper. The wedding was pretty good. I'm sure one of them has some nice, well paying job or something because they must have spent a decent bit of money on this wedding. From how nice it was, our entire family was there, as was a decent chunk of my ex's family. Yes, that's kind of how weddings are, aren't they? OP. Make sure to hydrate. um Eventually the time came for my speech. I just remember feeling really nervous as it built up to it, and my voice kept faltering when I was reading it out, but I didn't, and I still don't care. At least I got it. I mean, where the comma placements are kind of itching my brain. Okay. I was reading it out, but I didn't and still don't care. At least I got it out. I explained what these two horrible people had done to me. I called them the worst names I could think of. Good. And wished them the worst. Then I left. I was expecting some kind of dramatic moment from all the guests, gasps of shock and all that, but there was none of that. Everyone was just silent. I mean, my guy, you dropped the mic. Everyone is shocked because you never said anything to anyone. Damn sure these two bozos didn't say anything to anyone. So obviously this is incredibly shocking to everyone because no one's heard this before. They're all processing, my guy. Okay, especially if ADD runs in your family. They are processing. They're buffering, like buffering Jan, okay? I'm gonna have to add that to my soundboard, buffering Jan. Wallace says, this smacks of one of those people who like dating someone better because they stole them from another person. But for my own sanity, I would never have gone. The cousin, yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, they started cheating, and the old adage is there for a reason. You lose them how you found them. So if cheating hasn't existed in their relationship since they cheated forming their relationship, then I would imagine it is forthcoming. I would imagine the cheating is forthcoming. You lose them how you found them. It's true for a reason. Yeah. On my way home, I got a call from my mother angrily telling me that I'd ruined the wedding and both of them were so upset, and she asked me why I do this. Why would your mother even have to ask why? She should know. She should know why you've done it, okay? This is very simple. This is very simple. They destroyed me, so I destroyed their wedding and hopefully them. It's very simple. Goodness gracious. It's not that complicated. Mom, can we act a little bit smart, please? Instead of saying something like that, couldn't you have just said, you ruined the wedding. I'm very disappointed in your behavior. I understand why, and you never told me this. I wish you had told me earlier, but I'm disappointed in your behavior. That would have made more of an impact, I think, than why did you do this? Lady, you know why. I told her that they deserved it for what they'd done to me, and everything I'd said in this speech was true. She kept defending them, so I swore at her and hung up. Yeah, I would not talk to her after that. She's gonna back them. No. Since then, I've gotten several calls and texts from others in mine and my ex's family, angry that I ruined the wedding. I've also received a few texts from people who were there being supportive and telling me they were there if I needed to talk. Okay, well, that's nice. At least he has some form of support. I mean, they deserve to have a shit show of a wedding because they turned this guy's life into a shit show, in my opinion. He thought his life was going in a particular direction. Those two selfish assholes ruined it for him. I I have very mild opinions. Anyway, yeah. I'm not sure if I feel better having done this, but it did bring me great catharsis. So then you did feel better. Catharsis is when you feel better having done something. So how are you not sure you feel better if you have catharsis? Anyway, they never said people on Reddit are the smartest of people. Not that this guy isn't smart. He's probably smart in other ways, but anyways, when people were telling me the wedding was ruined, I mean, just ruining the wedding and hearing that it was ruined, I'm sure brings a certain sense of peace. It would bring me a certain sense of peace. I just want to burn it all to the ground and walk away. Only if I'm really, really wronged. And you know what? He was really, really wronged. So I think it is, justified. He's a justified asshole. They're much bigger assholes. Anyway. Wallace says, it is interesting to me that OP was super in love with this girl, but not enough to have told his family about her while they were still together. It doesn't sound like that. It sounds more like he didn't tell his family why they broke up, or like that he got cheated on with his cousin. That's how I read it. But you seem to be a little more insightful than me today, so maybe you're right. I don't know. They didn't like super specify, I guess. But I took it to mean that he didn't tell his family that that's why their relationship ended. OP was definitely wronged, but he is perhaps overblowing it just a wee bit. It might have been a few years ago, but he never even told anyone. So he's still living in it. Those two people don't deserve a happy life. Sorry. I guess it also depends on their ages. If they're like 18 years old, it's maybe a little bit different. But if their frontal cortexes are fully developed, I don't think they deserve to have like cheat on someone like that and have a happy life with a family member. I mean, you can't unfamily someone. That's the thing. You can unfriend people, but you can't unfamily someone. You can break up with a friend, but even though you can go no contact with someone, they're still your family. So like messing with someone's family member is like truly, truly disgusting. I mean, messing with anyone is truly disgusting, but messing with a family member is so much worse. So, I don't think they deserve a happy life. And if they do end up with a happy life, at least they had a crappy wedding. That's probably their take on it. Oh no, special insight here, just reacting as I go. Oh yes. Well, I think you have some special insight. Wallace. Okay. Well, just a little edit to address some common questions. As far as I'm aware, the rest of the family wasn't aware of her cheating on me. They likely knew we were dating at some point when we weren't, and then we weren't. I've learned from previous stuff that I can't rely on my family for any kind of support. So I've been on low contact with them since I moved out of my parents' house, which is why I didn't mention this to anyone in my family. Okay, that's also fair. Totally understand that. A lot of people are also asking for the speech transcript. I wrote it in a Google Doc and read it out from my phone. The delivery was kind of lackluster. I sounded like I was going to cry and tripped over my words, but I managed to read it all out. It isn't verbatim what I said, but it's very close as I was reading this from a general script. Hello, everyone. I love some receipts. I love it. I love it. Hello, everyone. I'm not very good at public speaking, so apologies in advance. It's an honor to be here at this wedding, and an even greater honor to be the best man. I was shocked that I was even invited at all, since the last time I'd spoken to the bride and groom was when I'd found them fucking in my own bed. Everyone hydrate. Evil laugh, hydrate. Oh, goodness gracious. X was my partner at the time, you see, but I don't think she got the memo that when you're dating someone, you don't fuck their cousin in their partner's bed. And it wasn't like cousin didn't know we were dating either. Who knows how long the slimy twat muffin was fucking her behind my back. Weeks, months. For those unaware, X and I had been dating for 2 years. I loved her with all my heart and was actually saving up to get a proposal ring. Maybe if X wasn't such a hoe, fair enough. Cousin would be saving this speech, would be giving this speech instead, and I wouldn't have been struggling with my mental health for 3 years. Probably why he didn't talk about it. He was really drowning, I would imagine. That's very devastating, especially, again, family member. Hey, Bales, welcome. Well, I'm glad you got your errands done. Welcome to the wedding disaster Reddit reading. Welcome. Always happy to see you. Hey, Bales, my friend. So basically this guy gave a truly devastating speech at his cousin and ex's wedding because he walked in on them banging, and then for some godforsaken reason 3 years later, after no contact, cousin reaches out and asks if he'll be the best man at his wedding. What kind of idiot is this guy? Anyway, so this is the end of the speech basically. Um, I've heard uh I've heard 50% of marriages end in divorce. I hope yours is a messy one. From the bottom of my heart, fuck you both. You ruined my life and I will never forgive either of you. Mic drop, walk out. um yeah. How did he not get yoinked out of there after the first line? Like a cartoon character. Yeah, with one of those like shepherd hooks. Good question. I don't think they were expecting it. They should have been. They should have been. They should have really clued the DJ in to cut the mic if this speech starts going any which way, if they were going to have this guy be the best man or not had him give a speech. I don't know. I find it weird. I find it very weird, Wallace. I really do. Haybell says that's insane. Yes, it is insane. Exactly. That is the goal here. Find some insane stories. It is insane. How could you possibly think that your cousin that you cheated on with his girlfriend should be your best man at your wedding to his now ex-girlfriend after he walked in on you banging? Oh my God. So stupid. Stupid and insane, both. I think very good speech. I would have probably had a contingency plan, but I also don't mess people over like that. So, there's that. Comments, little bit of comments. I bet you'll never hear from the ex or cousin again. How dare they think you would just get over it for their comfort and pleasure? Did your mother have any idea that they had cheated on you? Well, OP did address that he can't rely on his family for literally any kind of support, which is very sad. But OP says, I'm not sure if she knew. I'd assume she didn't, as I hadn't told her. But I did say in my speech that I found the two of them in my bed together, obviously with much more graphic language. I'm not sure about the exact price of the suit. I do know it wasn't cheap. It was around 300 pounds. I'm keeping it as a souvenir, as you should. As you should. That's a parting gift for being screwed over like that. And next comment says, if that's true, you're a fucking boss. That's a lesson anyone who thinks they can get away with it with you, or anyone who's reading this thread and thinks they could get away with something like that. Think again. Think again. Nobody gave a fuck that they stabbed you in the back, but when you paid them the favor of suddenly they care. To me, it's just a nice filter for you. Keep those who supported you and get rid of the rest except your mom. No, get rid of her too. She did not support him and he doesn't tell her anything for a reason. I don't blame the girl as much as your cousin. Anyone can fall in love with a twat. And there's another fish in the sea. But when the stabbing comes from your own blood, that's indescribable. So I feel like there's a thing where like these days you're supposed to be like more angry at, like, if you're a girl being cheated on, you're supposed to be more angry at the guy that you're with that's cheating on you than the girl who he's cheating with. Sure. Yeah. In this case, even if you reverse the genders, I think it's supposed to go the same way, right? You're supposed to be more pissed at the chick that you're with because they owe you loyalty. In this case, both of them owed him loyalty. Both of them did. So I would be equally pissed at both of them, honestly. I think this is not the hottest take. And when I say hot, I guess a hot take is like an unpopular opinion. This is a very cold take. This is a bad take, very bad take. Anyway, yeah. OP says, I intend to get rid of everyone, including my mother. Yes, good for you. The fact that she's siding with her brother's son over her own in all this only tells me that she doesn't love me, so I'll return the favor. It sounds like she's told him in many other ways, previously, so, I um, I yeah, that tracks. Um, anyway, moving on to the update. Hey, it's been a while. A lot has happened. This is 4 months later. I haven't logged into Reddit other than to look at any messages I've gotten whenever I see a notification in my email. It's helped, and it's good to know that people still think about me all this time later after reading some words on a screen. Hell, the most recent private message I got was 4 hours ago as of typing this, and the most recent notification on my post was 10 minutes ago. That's crazy. 4 months later. Wow. That's how you know you had a banger of a post. Yeah, that's people really thinking about you, living rent free in people's minds. Um, anyway, I haven't responded to any because I don't really know how to begin doing so. I feel bad just giving a short thank you, and I'm not really creative enough to come up with over 20 good responses. I do greatly appreciate the supportive words, though. Everyone, make sure to hydrate. Mm. Um, some stuff has happened since the whole mess that was my cousin's wedding. My mom tried to talk to me, said she saw the post I'd made. I pushed her away for a few days before finally speaking to her. I'm struggling to find words to describe how things worked out between us. The easiest way to explain it is that we agreed to disagree on whether what I'd done was correct. I got a lot of mixed messages from those who were present at the wedding. Some supportive, some telling me off. I was struggling a lot. I've just gone back to simply functioning, like I was before the wedding, after I came down from getting my own back. Okay. Um, I don't at all regret what I did, and I still feel satisfied that I got payback. I was making plans to take my own life about a month after oh God, about a month after the wedding. I hadn't told anyone for obvious reasons, but my mom, uncle, and cousin, some cousin whose wedding I ruined. Same cousin. Oh, why would you tell? Why would you tell the cousin whose wedding you ruined? Came to me and told me they'd pay for a private counselor since the mental health department from NHS is under-equipped to say the least. I don't know that much about NHS, honestly. So, Hay Bales agrees and says, poor guy. Yeah. It's really upsetting. And I think that's partly why he couldn't move on. Wallace was saying it's been 3 years, and I was, I was thinking that maybe he didn't really process things because he was just like wallowing in it. And he's just been like on autopilot for three. It could just because it was 3 years ago doesn't mean that you've gotten over it, especially if you haven't like sought help, appropriate help, professional help, even. um, so, anyways, um, I went to therapy, found a counselor who was very helpful. He taught me a lot. I got diagnosed with PTSD, very fair, caused by the discovery of the affair, aka finding them banging from when I came home early from work, um, in my bed. Crazy. Um, he's been a big help and encouraged me to give casual dating a try to build confidence in myself and get used to rejection as a normal part of life. I feel like he's still not over what happened, so why would you want to bring another human into that? That's messy. That's weird advice. I signed up to a few dating sites. Ugh, the bog, the pit of humanity. Dating sites. I hate them. Anyway. Although I'm avoiding Tinder like the plague, that's a good move. My counselor specifically suggested that I stay as far away from Tinder as I possibly can. Very fair. I've not been very successful in that avenue, but it's been pretty much in line with what I was expecting. I've talked to a few people and even got a date scheduled, but she stood me up and ghosted me, which hurt. It's not just you, babe. I promise. It's not just you. I've been on every single dating app. I've been stood up. Who the hell would stand me up? I know you're thinking that. But I've been stood up. I have dating rules now. I don't get stood up because I don't show up if I don't have a phone number. A date, time, place, and phone number. But I'm not really dating at the moment anyway, so these rules have not applied for a minute. I might need to update them eventually. And Hellville says online dating scares me. Yeah, it is a scary, scary place. I feel like American Horror Story season 35 should probably cover online dating. It is very terrifying. um, and Hey Bales also says, I don't think I would be able to meet up with someone from online. I don't even walk up to doors I don't know or answer phone calls from unknown numbers. I mean, like, same, but meeting up with someone from online that you've been messaging for a little bit, it's not that bad. It's really just like the rate of success is so incredibly low. And yeah, stranger danger and all, true. But just, if you go with some level of, wherewithal, and like a whistle or a personal alarm or some mace or something. And just make sure to protect yourself. Maybe take a couple of self-defense classes, but for the most part, it's like not necessarily dangerous. It's just, it's not fun. It's not really fun. It has a very low rate of success. And yeah, well, from my experience of doing online dating for many, many years, I don't really subscribe to that level of belief in it anymore anyways. I think I'll probably end up meeting my future husband like at a dog park or something when I eventually get a dog. or or in a bar or something, like a wine bar, who knows. But most likely not online. So while it says, okay, I'm side-eyeing OP still, how did the mom know about this Reddit post? Well, the algorithms, and it might have popped up, or maybe she knew his Reddit handle. I don't know. And he was going to call the cousin before he ended his life. Yeah, exactly. I question that as well. I would love context from the other people involved. Yeah, that would be nice. I feel like we all, hi Leon from Jersey. I feel like we all like hope for context from others, and I love when we get those posts where someone responds to someone's crazy Reddit story and gives all the context that we needed. Fills in all the gaps that everyone was asking about. It's really nice when that happens. But we don't always get, it's very rare that happens, unfortunately. I do love those though when that happens. But yeah, so Hey Bales agrees she wants more information. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we all, and also coming from the Owens verse, we all want all the information overall at all times. And speaking of which, I need advice because especially Hey Bills, you're like whiz at getting court documents and stuff. I need to figure out how to get criminal court documents on an ongoing current case happening in Suffolk County, New York. So anyway, I'll reach out to you on Discord. I will reach out to you on Discord. But yes. And while it says, so happy that I met my partner through mutual friends. I fear the apps as well. Yes. They are something to fear. But there are also smart ways to prevent possible death on a stranger date. Yes. Hey Bales, I will DM you for sure. Okay, so Leon from Jersey, this poor gentleman walked in on his girlfriend and cousin banging. So he decided when he was asked to be best man for some godforsaken reason at his cousin and ex's wedding, despite not having spoken at all for 3 years, he decided to write a absolute banger of a speech outing the crap out of these two crappy human beings. And then he got a bunch of messages saying he ruined the wedding, and it gave him some level of vindication, but he was still feeling really just like crappy about the whole situation. Even 3 years later, it's very traumatic. And he was planning on taking his own life. And anyway, so then he started seeing a therapist, thankfully, and the therapist gave the very strange advice of building up his confidence by doing online dating, which that is not how you build up confidence, in my in my opinion. I don't know. That's not how I have found any confidence, certainly. But Haybale says it must have been because he introduced them that they decided he should be best man. Maybe. That's still really weird decision making. I fear for their future children if they don't get divorced immediately. Haybale says the cousin decided. Well, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know if she had anything to. I mean, she must have had to approve it. I feel like if you're marrying someone, you get veto power of who their like top dog is in the wedding party. If it's someone that you have history with. I don't know. I mean, I would never do what they did, but I certainly wouldn't allow this situation to have happened in any way. Like whatsoever. So anyway, we digressed and started talking about the woes of dating apps. Terrifying dating apps. Dating apps suck. Wallace says, wonderfully dark thought. Hey, Bales. Yeah, very much so. And Hey Bale says, true, she probably did wild stuff. She probably did veto it. Well, he did end up being the best man, so I don't think it was vetoed. But I think anyone should have veto power in their wedding party. But anyways, Leon says, thanks for the recap. Online dating is a no-no. Yeah, I'm done with it. Oh my God. That was a wild time of life doing the online dating. It's really hard. It's rough. Hey Belle says, no, she probably agreed. Oh yeah. I don't know. Obviously, between the two of them, they are sharing a brain cell. They don't seem like the brightest people to allow this. I don't know how this happened. But anyway, they got what they asked for. This is why you don't invite someone who you have maligned in such a horrendous way to be a part of your wedding party in any way. Certainly not the best man, or maid of honor, if that were the case. But anyways, doing good though, much better. I don't have suicidal thoughts very often anymore, so that's good. Whenever I'm feeling especially crap, I like to open up Reddit and read your supportive messages. That's really nice that he has that to fall back on. But keep going to therapy, my guy. It gets better, I think. I mean, I don't have like PTSD. I might have a little bit of PTSD from when I almost died during COVID. But I don't have like PTSD from a traumatic incident like that necessarily, but I do have CPTSD from traumatic work experiences. So CPTSD is complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So basically, when you've been tortured, abused, or manipulated or whatever over an elongated period of time, whereas PTSD is more like a specific triggering event. So I was diagnosed with CPTSD. I still get the heebie-jeebies whenever I see a message from my boss pop up. Case in point, the other day, 1 week ago, I received a message from my boss on like Wednesday, and I see his name pop up in my notification, and I immediately start getting like clammy hands and like my heart starts pumping really hard. And then I saw his message was actually a really good message. He was basically just like, hey, I see that you have a really like light workload this week, so you can, aside from making sure you get to any scheduled calls or anything that you have, you can kind of just chill out the rest of the week. Which was the holiday week, so that was really good. But the point being, like, I haven't really experienced anything negative from my boss, and I still have those negative responses when I get a message from my boss, even though it was not this work environment that the CPTSD occurred in. And it was many years ago, honestly, but it just stays with you. It's like beaten into you to an extent. So, Hay Bales says not all cylinders are firing. Yeah, I don't know if I have all the cylinders to fire, but they usually are not all firing. I don't know. I don't know why. There are some Jeopardy games that I watch where the cylinders are firing, and it's phenomenal when that happens in the 22 minutes of the day that Jeopardy is. Wallace says, also, I feel like not having a wedding party instantly cuts your drama in half. Yeah, that's true. My partner's best friends are twin brothers who don't talk to one another anymore. We didn't even go there. Yeah. Yeah. There's so much drama that happens from the wedding party. Wallace says, oh, I'm sorry, Hellville, that's awful. I'm glad you sought care for it, though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's like fully overcoming it ever. I think I'll probably always get the heebie-jeebies like that. I don't know, but I will say it was a lot worse when I was suing that company. And anytime I received a message from my lawyer saying that I needed to read over some response from them, because in order for me to make a response to their response, I need to read what they said. And so every single one of their words, like I had so many panic attacks during that time period. So anyways, more about Hellville. Leon says, I've got CPTSD too, among other things. Yeah, it's always among other things, isn't it? Yeah, I've got a lot of letters of the alphabet. Definitely. CPTSD being part of it for sure. But I hope you're doing okay and you've sought any help that you need to. Thankfully for me, I've never like ideated that way. And I hope you haven't either, Leon. But I hope this guy continues to seek care, because if you get to that point, you really need to seek care on a continual basis until you're kind of fully past that, in my opinion. Again, as I just said, I never have, so I could be speaking out of pocket, but I think it's a good idea at least to continue seeking care. Maybe not from the guy that says, hey, you should go on dating sites to build your confidence. That's a weird one. But in general, maybe seek out a different person for a different perspective on how to heal and what have you. That's my thought. And that's all for now. I'll probably start using this account on a more regular basis, so you may see more of me. Update 2, 1 month after the previous post. Oh god, this is one of those ones that just keeps going, isn't it? Uh-oh. I will cut it eventually, don't worry. Hey friends, I'm still getting DMs asking for updates and the like. Honestly, I'm still baffled people care enough to ask. I do read your DMs. I've not responded to any because it's a little overwhelming, which I think is fair. I've had over 70 people DM me now, but all of whom were sending me messages of love and support. I really appreciate it, and I'm sorry for not responding. Like I said, it's just overwhelming. I might go through and respond to some someday. For now, just open up my Reddit and read my messages whenever I'm feeling down or generally just struggling to think positively. It really helps. Anyway, on to the update. Not a lot to update, really. Then why are we writing? Just say thank you for all the support. But anyway, not a lot to update. Not had much luck with dating, so I gave up. Yeah, that is online dating for you. I finally went on a date with 2 separate girls, but neither of them were my type, so I didn't arrange for a second date with either. That's fair. The first constantly talked about her ex and how much of an asshole he was. You never bring up another partner, ex-partner, whatever, on a first date. Not even honestly on a second date, unless you're like specifically bringing up something that you didn't like that they did and want to make sure that your future partner doesn't do. But even then, that's a little rocky. Wait till the 3rd date for that. I don't know. That's stupid. That's poor dating decision making. In my opinion. Anyway. After we'd finished our date, and it gave him the impression she hadn't moved on from him. Yeah, that's usually the case when someone is constantly bringing someone else up. After we'd finished our date, I walked her home and she offered for me to come inside and watch a movie with her. Oh, buddy, she wanted more than that. I declined and lied, saying I needed to go home and feed my cat. I don't have a cat right now. And she seemed to buy it. I felt bad turning her down. You don't have to feel bad about it. If you weren't feeling it, you weren't feeling it. And I hope she finds someone who will treat her well. She seemed like a sweet girl, but she's just hung up on a toxic ex. Yeah, maybe she was trying to get under someone to get over someone, kind of that theory. The second girl was just painfully boring. She constantly talked about Love Island. Okay, look. I can yap on about Love Island too, though I am woefully behind and will probably end up taking a really long time to catch up. Though I am running out of content on YouTube to watch, so I might end up catching up on that and then building up a backlog of YouTube stuff again. So, oh goodness gracious. Wallace says, I mean, how dare she not be over her ex from the guy who wasn't over it for 3 years. I think he's also very betrayed by the cousin. So I think it's like a double whammy, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was also a very traumatic event, so I get it. And you know, if she had experienced a similar traumatic event with her ex, then I understand. But overall, yeah, don't talk about it on a date. I wonder if he brought up his toxic past situation on the date too. He didn't say. This is why we do like when the other party says something. But anyways, we never get that. It's very rare. She constantly talked about Love Island, I'm a Celeb, and a few other shows I can't remember the name of. I faked an emergency just to get out of it because 5 minutes with this woman felt like several decades. I've always at least just finished a drink. I'm too polite. I just if they say like, "Oh yeah, how about a second drink?" I'd just be like, actually, I have an early meeting, so I do have to get going, but I really appreciate it. I've had a really good time tonight." Blah blah blah. And if they say, "Oh yeah, we should definitely see each other again," I'm always like very agreeable in the moment. And then if they message me again, and ask me out again, because sometimes they'll just message and just say like, "Hey, I had a really good time tonight," and I'll just be like, "Oh yeah, me too." And then if they ask me out again, that's when I would kind of say, not I just don't want to waste either of our time any further. I don't think it's going to be a match between us because you never want to physically be in someone's presence while turning them down, in my opinion. And a first date doesn't owe a face to face anyway. But yeah, I've still had some negative effects from the text. No, thank you. Um, so eventually I did just get to ghosting. The thing is, some men, they respond incredibly aggressively and nastily to a rejection. And it's like, who hurt you? Honestly, it doesn't even matter who hurt you. We don't act this way to people. But it's one of those things where it's like these toxic guys that are like, um, you know, all over you, and then you reject them really, really nicely, and they then say, "You're super ugly anyway, blah, blah, blah." Well, then why were you so into me 5 minutes ago if you think I'm so ugly? That's a really odd thing to say. And they'll just try to tear you down. But the thing is, I can eviscerate someone so much more easily. So if someone ever did that to me, I would just tear them down. But it just takes too much emotional real estate. So I just started ghosting. Anyway, pro ghosting over here in the Hellville house. Wallace says, if I went on a first date these days, I would 100% bring up Laura Owens at some point. Oh, same, million percent same. Yes, I could not actually have any conversation with anyone without bringing it up at some point. I'm so entrenched. I can't wait for Leon to be just as entrenched. Leon says, whenever I hear these types of stories, I always feel like I've dodged a bullet. No SO or kids, just a nice clear path, I hope. Yeah, same. Same, yeah. I prefer dodging bullets than being anchored down with a cannonball, you know? I'd rather be alone and like I'm happy enough being alone. I'd rather be alone than be with the wrong person. So that's my take on it, on especially with online dating. that's why I gave up on that. Anyways, after that, no bites, and that's fine. My counselor said, if using those sites feels like a chore, then I should stop using them. Yeah, I thought it was a weird suggestion in the first place. That was weird. I would have maybe suggested some social groups or something to help build some confidence, like socially, and then maybe he could meet someone through that. But anyway, I'm not a therapist. I'm gonna skip all the comments this time. And here's the new update that is very recent from May of this year. So 4 years and 2 months after the original post. This is why I'm here, because I had already read by myself, to myself, I had already read the previous, well, I read the first update. Or maybe I only read the story. I might have only read the story and then like when he added the approximate speech that he gave. Because that was not in the original post. So he added that as an edit, I think. So I read that. I do remember the speech. Leon says Laura Owens, the ultimate icebreaker. Yeah, she wishes. If she could break some ice, she'd have 35 kids by now. She just gives everyone the heebie-jeebies, much like receiving a message from any employer gives me the heebie-jeebies. So anyway, and she has probably caused significant PTSD and CPTSD to all of her victims. I do have a question. I keep seeing in StreamYard, my screen just where I am seems to be flickering. Is it flickering on your end too? Can you guys just let me know? If so, I will Google that later, but I'm just curious and I won't remember to ask later. So I'm asking now while I'm thinking of it. Anyways, yet another update, maybe my final one, who knows? Well, I hope when he says my final one, he doesn't mean like final, you know? Hello again. It's been quite a long time. A lot has happened, most of it boring life stuff that you won't be interested in. I'd be surprised if I reach even 50 comments on this post given how long it's been, but I received messages as recent as a week ago as of writing this post asking about updates. Yeah, good for him. He really stuck with people. I'm not in therapy anymore. I spoke with my therapist about how my family, primarily my mother, was insisting I visit my cousin and ex. What? Okay. I'll talk about them soon, don't worry. And he said it'd be best if I go no contact, even if it means losing access to therapy. I mean, that's actually really, really good advice. It's probably much more peaceful without his family in his life, especially since they cannot be supportive. Okay, well, it says there's no flickering, so it must be a StreamYard issue. Anyway, I'll look into it later. And Leon agrees, all good here. Okay. It's a StreamYard issue. It's just very distracting. Because I see a flickering and I'm like, what? What's that? Because I have multiple screens. Anyway. Oh my God, I just accidentally caught a glimpse at down below. My prediction came true, but anyways, I digress. I'm gonna read it in order. So best if I go no contact, even if it means losing access to therapy, and being made to see them could make my mental health worse. And there was a chance it could cause a development of CPTSD. Yeah. Crappy suggestion anyway. I went no contact and the therapy payment stopped, but I managed to save up enough and canceled a few subscriptions to keep going for about 10 months. Oh, wonderful move. I was going to say, can you possibly afford it? Because it sounds like you need it. So it's really, really good that he was able to save up enough to continue going to therapy. And after the dating thing, it does sound like this therapist gave him some pretty solid advice. So good therapist. Yay. Love it. I'm very much a proponent of therapy when needed. So, uh, went for 10 months, after which I felt good enough about myself that I didn't feel like I needed therapy anymore. And that is the goal that all therapists should have. my cousin ended up cheating on my ex, and that's what I saw out of the corner of my eye before when I was flitting back over to the screen to read. So at the beginning of this story, I said, "You lose them how you got them. You lose them how you found them." Yeah, this is not surprising. My cousin cheated on my ex. I was expecting it to go the other way around, to be honest, but there's poetic justice there, I suppose. That happened about a year ago. When I heard the news, I didn't really feel anything. That's good. Apathy at this point about the situation means that you have actually moved on, because I feel like if you were still in it emotionally, like really deeply, you would feel like some level of emotion toward it, whether it was happiness or vindication or whatever. So it flickered again. Anyway, je téléphoné la police. It's yeah, it's really good to have gone through something that traumatic and even had been at such an incredibly low point to now hear that news and feel nothing about it. That's actually really wonderful in my opinion. And I'm sure if he consulted his old therapist, that person would probably agree. Um, so there was a time when the news would have made me feel overjoyed. Yeah, exactly. And I've been riding the high of her experiencing the same thing she did to me. But I think I've truly moved on. I just feel sorry for their kid. Oh, yeah. Well, I said in my speech that I hoped their divorce was a messy one. And from what I've heard from my family and seen on their social medias, it most certainly was a messy one. I don't know if they're still dealing with it. I've heard divorce proceedings can take years in some states. I don't use social media a ton. I've only got this Reddit account and Facebook to keep in contact with non-toxic family and friends, and snoop on my cousin and ex wherever I get curious. Oh, see, no, you're still attached. You should just block them. Anyway, as for me, like I said, nothing super interesting. I moved to a different city. Good for you. Fresh start. Got an all right job. It can be stressful at times, but the folks there are great and I get on with them. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, but I haven't thought about harming myself in a long, long time. So there's that at least. Thank you all so much for the support over the years. I wish you all the best in your lives, whatever that might be going on in them. I mean, that's a really nice update. um, Good to hear. I think to truly fully get over it, you do have to like probably not snoop on them and not feel the urge to snoop on them. But anyway, Leon says, I know the whole American healthcare story, but does that mean access to mental health is also privatized? So this OP talked about NHS. So I think it's over in your neck of the woods, actually, Jersey. um, I was thinking it was in the UK, based on NHS, but then he said states over down here, so that's definitely confusing. Um, where did he say that? I swear he said states. Oh, it's because I wasn't on the actual story. I don't know. I could have sworn he said states somewhere. So then I was thinking maybe Australia. I don't know if they have if theirs is called NHS over there as well. Um, but yeah, paying for therapy sucks, especially when you're like therapy end of life. It's it's really a crappy situation. I think therapy should be free personally, but especially when you need it that badly, when it's like emergent like that, I think it should be free. But anyways, Wallace says, yeah, OP is definitely from the UK, I thought. He said the word twat. Well, yeah, but Australians also say the word twat. I also say the word twat. um, I say all the words. I'm not going to say all the words on stream, but I say all the words. Twat is just less flagged, I think, as like a curse than other words that I would use. But anyways, yeah, so as positive of an update as we could get from this guy, I guess. Okay, moving on to the next story. Share this tab instead. There we go. I did it. Tacky wedding from start to finish in 2 weeks. Okay, based on the title, I don't know if anyone's an asshole. Maybe whoever's planning the tacky wedding, it might depend on the intentions. Everyone hydrate. Okay. So the original post. My husband and I are invited to a wedding in 2 weeks' time. Oh, that is not enough time to be invited to a proper wedding. I understand the tackiness. And it's the most unorganized and weird thing ever. We're a couple of friends attending. My husband and I are invited to a wedding. We are a couple of friends attending. We and a couple of friends are attending, maybe. And all had a call today to have a WTF session as we are all equally confused. Okay. I'm assuming they just said that wrong, typed it wrong. So let me tell you about it. Please do, babe. This wedding is in a week in Paris. I thought it was 2 weeks. Anyway, in Paris. Wow. We're all from France originally, but from different parts of France. And all currently living and working abroad. So the location selection was a first odd choice, as Paris is renowned to be really expensive and defo never a first choice from a provincial people like us, but whatever. We then never received official save the dates or invites, but we're just invited to a WhatsApp group to give us the details. Okay, that's a really tacky way of inviting people to things. Also, an international trip. People are working abroad, living and working abroad. An international trip needs more than 2 weeks notice. People need to give notice at work for that. People need to save up money, all that stuff. So yeah, already not starting out great from the couple. We're told the wedding will be at the town hall on Saturday morning at 9. That is ungodly early to expect people to wake up. Anyway, for a wedding, because you have to get ready too. Oh my God. Well, to be fair though, how tacky this is so far, and based on the title, maybe you don't have to look your best. Low effort. Like unlike the Ryan Reynolds thing, like maximum effort is his marketing firm. This is the minimum effort wedding, maybe. Leon says, no, we're not part of the UK. British, but not part of the UK. Long story. We're independent islands. Okay. That tracks. Yeah. My dad's English. So I have a UK citizenship. But I was born and raised here in New York. So I was not given the proper context growing up. I sometimes get confused between the specificity of Britain and the UK. I know obviously the separate different countries, of course. I'm not always familiar with like which one is considered part of which conglomerate. I guess you could say. And like I said on last night's stream, me and geography are not friends. We are enemies. I am not good at geography. Anyways, let alone remembering about conglomerates and stuff about geography. I try though. I should know, seeing as how it is part of my own personal culture. But anyway, here we are. So the wedding is at town hall Saturday morning at 9, and meet them for lunch on a boat they've rented at 1 p.m. I mean, that sounds nice. Not the waking up early part, but the lunch on a boat sounds nice. But to find ourselves what to do with ourselves between the wedding and lunch. Yeah. You could all plan an activity together. I don't know. There are things to do in Paris that you don't have to spend too much money on, but anyway, I digress. That is annoying, and you're dressed up and stuff. I mean, hopefully not too dressed up. You're just going to City Hall, right? Anyway, Then told the lunch is actually just snacks and a few drinks. Oh dear. Buffet style, and that we are encouraged to bring drinks if we want something other than beers and soft drinks. The boat is then only rented until 8 p.m. and after that everyone has to go home. I mean, 1 to 8, that's a decent amount. That's 7 freaking hours. That's all. How much more do you want it to be rented out for? And don't you want to go get dinner somewhere with more than just snacks? So maybe the better move is in between the ceremony at City Hall and the boat lunch reception, since it's only going to be snacks, you go to get brunch or breakfast. Petit déjeuner, obviously. Let's use our brains, people. You want to get some food in your belly, and then before you go to get on the boat, but not too long before you go to get on the boat, like right before you're going to go get on the boat, you just down a bunch of shots, and then boom, now you have your booze, and you're on the boat, and you can puke over the edge or whatever. But anyway, that's how you deal with the whole like beer only thing. I don't drink beer, for the record. Okay. This is very unheard of at a French wedding. I wouldn't know. I've never been to a French wedding. A wedding without a party is not really one. It sounds like the party's on the boat. But whatever. We've then planned with a few others to go to a restaurant together afterwards, as the newlyweds will spend their first married evening and night together. Yeah, that makes sense. But this doesn't end there. We've then been told, actually only by my husband, only my husband was told on a separate WhatsApp group, that we were also required on the Sunday for the actual wedding ceremony. I don't think that's how that goes. I'm not French, but I don't think that's how that goes. Leon's much closer than I am to France, so you tell me, but I don't that's not how any weddings over here go anyway. That's very strange setup. Also strange to only tell the husband. But for real, then the plan is to have 80 people joining them to a local park in Paris with no reservation or booking or anything. Everyone has to bring their own lunch and sandwiches, towels, drinks for a picnic. And they also want us to come well dressed, semi-formal. Oh, get fucked. Really? To take pictures together. Ruining my heels and dress at a picnic? No, thank you. Yeah, I wouldn't do that either. That is crazy. I think you get me for one day or the other day. You don't get me for both days. Either you want me to be part of the Saturday town hall ceremony, followed by large gap, followed by boat snack and beer celebration, or you get me for the following day picnic in the park and ceremony and ruining my heels. I'm not ruining my heels though. I'm wearing what I want to wear. I will not be that formal if I'm going for a picnic in the park where I have to bring my own food. BYO everything. They're really trying to save on cost here. Maybe why wedding costs in the US are so much, because we expect certain things to be included in weddings. But anyways, I've definitely read some American wedding horror stories. So yeah, that is wild. That doesn't end there. My husband, who's a really good friend with the groom, has then been asked this week, yes, 2 weeks away from the wedding, to be the flower boy. Pardon me? We are all in our mid-30s, and to also prep a speech with the other boys and come early to the ceremony to help set up. You can say no. I personally would not want to subject myself to that humiliation. I'm also a girl, so being a flower girl is not like the weirdest thing in the world, even if I'm older. Leon says, nice history lesson, or history, no, geography lesson. We are part of Great Britain. England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland are the UK. I'm a British citizen, though. I need to quickly restart my machine. Oh, yeah, all good. Do what you got to do. Thank you for the education, though. I've never been to a wedding, just lots of funerals. Oh, no. Hopefully less funerals going forward. That's sad. Anyway, at this stage, I'm just absolutely flabbergasted. I love when they say my flowers have been gasted. That's my favorite thing from Reddit. Um, yes. If it were a budget issue, I would 100% understand. However, the bride and groom are two of the most well-off people I know. Oh, this is just not appropriate. They own multiple houses and never had any financial issues. So to me, this feels so incredibly tacky to ask people to fly over, spend a whole weekend with them in one of the most expensive cities in Europe, and to not feed them or even provide any sort of entertainment. Yeah, I agree. That is very, very tacky, especially with the context that they are well off. That is not appropriate in any way, shape, or form. At least fly them over. Like, if you want these people there, make it worth their while to be there, or at least make it not a colossal inconvenience for them. Anyway, that's great. This crazy. This crazy. Yeah. Uh, I'm also really considering the gift as they're going back home right after they've asked only cash gift to not have to bother with physical gifts. And I'm honestly thinking of just giving them the bare minimum, like 50 euros from the both of us, husband and I, as traditionally the gift is supposed to pay for your dinner, but then there's none. Okay, you're also paying for flights. I would consider that their gift. Your presence is their gift, especially since they are paying for literally nothing. They're very, very little. Also, why would they throw it picnic in the park when they have probably backyards? It's not making sense. It's not making sense. My husband and his friend group have tried to talk to him, and he just feels that we don't get their vision and that they just want to do something unique. But at what cost? Regretting having accepted this invite now, but will update to let you know how it's actually gone once done and over. So you can uninvite yourself from a wedding. You could say, oh my gosh, so sorry, something came up with work. I can't come now. It is 2 weeks notice. But maybe you also really like the tea and you want to be at this disaster of a wedding. Presumed disaster. um Interesting. Okay, update number 1. This is the day before. We've received this afternoon the following news, still on the WhatsApp. So classy. So demure, so mindful. Um, which is a community channel, not a group, so we can't even reply. Oh boy. They asked in the group if anyone present for the Sunday picnic could bring Bluetooth speakers with them. Oh, come on. You can't even get yourself some Bluetooth. Okay. This is actually paining me now. um, they changed 3 times the exact location of the picnic within the park. But great, we're now close to the public toilets. Oh, yum. That's wonderful. Obviously, sarcasm. The classic Reddit version of sarcasm /s. In case you didn't know what that was, that's what that is. If you're not familiar with Reddit, which I think everyone here is, but who knows? They gave 3 people's numbers in the group to contact if we had any questions or issues during the day. One of them was not even invited in the group and found out because we jokingly texted him that hopefully he has more answers than the bride and groom. He was also never asked to do this and never had any more clue than any of us what the hell is going on. His only thing is that he's from Paris, so maybe the bride and groom thought he could help with directions. We were told for tomorrow to be dressed semi-formal for the civil wedding. Fair enough. But to also bring either a change of clothes or accessories to match the theme of the afternoon. Dare to be fun. How does that? What do you match? How do you match that? Whimsical? How do you match the theme dare to be fun? Is that just dressing whimsically? I don't understand. As someone who does sometimes do some whimsical things, I don't get it. It's over my horns. We were originally told there would be a shuttle of some kind between the town hall and the boat, as in complete opposite sides of Paris. Then we were told to find our own way there by, I quote, a scooter, bike, or Uber. That is not a shuttle, sir. That is not a shuttle. Oh my God, this couple just seems to think everyone owes them their presence, their time, their energy. I don't like it. I don't like it so much. I'm going to wave the red flag. This is ridiculous. I object. I object most strongly. In fact, straight to the fires of Hellville, I say. I have a couple of toys. I had to put them on camera eventually. Okay. So, next crazy thing that happened is they sent a video of the boat as a teaser. I won't share it still to keep some kind of privacy. And honestly, it's just an old barge slash boathouse that looks absolutely not cool in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I was kind of just expecting one of those like party yachts. Like I thought they just rented one of those out for the day. Uh, where I mean, and I use the word yacht very loosely. But I just figured it was one of those like sail around Paris for the afternoon or whatever, and pay this much for this many people, like an event boat. Uh, I wasn't expecting like a super yacht or something. I don't know what they were expecting. Super yacht would probably come with a private chef, and therefore there would be more than just snacks. So there's that. And Leon gave several flags in the chat. Yes, I have the flags. I fear that I won't be using it very much, but I also have a green flag. Definitely not using it in this story. I also have a yellow flag. So maybe we'll use that sometimes, but I feel like the green flag is going to be very unused. But anyways, Wallace says, gonna have to catch the rest of the stream on replay crew. Sleepy time for me. Well, good night. Sleep tight. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will appreciate you on the replay crew for sure. Leave a comment on the rest of the stories. Tell me how you feel about them. Leon says it sounds as if a hen party has met with a stag do. Like the hen party of humans met the stag do of humans, and they are uniting in a marriage. Probably, yeah, that sounds about right. They actually confirmed they'll be bringing some snacks on Sunday for the first to arrive. What? And so the others were welcome to bring their own food and drinks to share if they wish. God, that is horrible. Okay. Update number 2. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the update you were all waiting for. Sorry, tried to create a new post just for the update, but it got deleted by the mods because updating these things, they've made it very difficult for no reason whatsoever. I don't get it. Anyways, the update. This wedding was just as expected, cheap and tacky. Thank God we met there with a few friends we hadn't seen in a long time, so we were still able to spend a nice weekend by all staying together. But if we had been there on our own, we definitely would not have stayed over this long. Now on to the update. See below recap of the 2 days. Before getting into the details of the days, just wanted to mention that all the different activities were hosted in completely different locations within the city of Paris. For those who don't know Paris, it's a big city and always with a lot of traffic. Yes, can confirm. Can confirm. Oh, I forgot to take that comment down. And Leon says train wreck. Yes, definitely a train wreck. Yes. It's a big city, always a lot of traffic. So going from one side to another can take over an hour. And all to be done in a taxi Uber. We probably spent over 150 euros just in transports. That's their gift, man. Not to mention the flights over. Honestly, again, I would have just declined the invitation once they gave the actual details. If it were me, I don't subject myself to that kind of crap these days. Yes. All capitals are a pain. Do they put something in all capitals? I didn't see anything in all capitals. Maybe I'm missing something. That's all right. I miss things sometimes. Anyway, okay. So, we were to join them to the town hall at 10 a.m. for the start of the wedding at 10:30. I thought it was 9 a.m. Arrived there by 9:45. No one there. Fine. Grabbed a coffee next door. 10:15. Still no sign of the bride and groom. 10:30. They arrive, start to mingle, say hi to everybody, but don't seem rushed in any way. We then learned the wedding isn't starting until 11:30, but they wanted to make sure everyone was there on time. I hate this couple. Oh, capital. I see. Okay. Oh, we could have gone across on my boat. I love boats. Well, Leon, I love boats. I sleep so well on boats. Do you sleep on your boat? It's probably a really good sleep. I love boats. Um, capital is in London. Yes, that kind of capital makes sense. Yep. Capital, Paris, capital. Yep. New York, not a capital. Funny enough. People don't know that. New York City is not the capital of the state of New York, in fact. Um, yeah, that is Albany, which is upstate from the city. So, anyways, blows blows some people's minds. um, when they learn when we learn the wedding isn't we already said that. 11:25 we're invited to enter the town hall. Civil wedding starts. Geez, so you're just standing around for like an entire hour waiting for this to start. Ugh, I hate these people. 11:45 we're done and outside. We do a few group pictures in front of the town hall and then are told we'll be walking a bit further away, 10-15 minutes to go take pictures in a park nearby. We arrived at the park. First problem, it had been pissing rain for the last 3 days, rendering the whole park muddy as hell. Oh goodness. Leon says, "That's it, Albany. I didn't want to cheat." I didn't want to like give the answer away either, but I gave you a few seconds to think about it anyway before I dropped it. Wow, that is insane. It's pissing rain for the last 3 days. The park is muddy as hell. All the ladies in heels and stilettos were struggling to stay upright. Why did you even walk off the paths? I would have protested. I would have protested. Leon says, "Is that what weddings are usually like?" Sounds horrendous. No, no. That's what I'm saying. Weddings are not usually like this. I've been to a handful and they're not usually like this. No, no, this is weird. This is weird. Yeah. So what's even weirder is that everyone is just going along with it and no one is saying, "I'm not going to do that." Thanks though. Because that's what I would be saying. No, thank you. I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to stay over here on the path. Thanks though. Appreciate you. Um, yeah. They then take pictures with all the group's friends and family. This lasts an hour in the sun with no shade, no drinks, not even water is provided. Everyone is sweating away. Is anyone surprised? Their planning skills don't seem to be particularly high level. Um, hmm, yeah. 1 p.m. we're told that we can now all go to the official wedding location to the boat. Okay. Originally, we were told there would be a shuttle organized, but this never happened. Yeah. Are we surprised? Again, are we surprised? Leon says, "Yeah, no, I'd take charge, I think." It's not even about taking charge. I would literally just put my foot down, not in the mud. I would just put my foot down and be like, "I am not doing that. You guys have already taken the piss. I'm not doing that. Absolutely not. No." Um, no drinks, not even water. Told that we can go to the official wedding ceremony, the official wedding location, the boat. No shuttle was organized. Shocker. All tried to find taxis and Ubers to get there, as no public transport would have been an easy option, like having to take 3 different buses. The taxi takes us 45 minutes to get to the boat. 60 quid. Great. 1:45 p.m. we arrived to the boat. Somehow before the bride and groom. Oh God. Did they sneak off to get a quickie in? The boat is actually a houseboat on the river and someone's actual home that they just rent out for the day from time to time. Oh my God. There's no decoration or anything and a bunch of personal items all around, as this is someone's home whom we'll call the captain for the rest of the story. As the bride and groom are not there yet, some of the bride's family start to blow and attach balloons, as well as some garlands. There are no tables or chairs, just one couch in the living room. The captain is also staying there, apparently, so we have that random 50-year-old dude hanging around. Goodness gracious. 2 p.m., the couple arrives on the boat, but things are still being set up. So everyone's waiting around, chatting to each other. Everyone's super thirsty and cannot wait to get a drink. These people suck. But you are also the master of your own universe. Before getting in the Uber or taxi, why didn't you stop at a shop and pick up a big bottle of water, assuming that these people would not provide that? based on their aforementioned poor planning skills and lack of consideration shown toward the guests of their wedding. Leon says, I wouldn't go. I'd be busy that day, week, month, year. Yeah, same. Like I said, once I got the information 2 weeks prior to the event, I would have tapped out. Sorry, something came up. Bye. I'm out. Have a good wedding. Did nobody do their homework? It sounds like they planned a military operation. Yeah, no one did any homework at all, it seems like. Yeah. This is, again, very poorly planned. It's, like, embarrassing, honestly. I'd be embarrassed to plan this event. I would never plan this event, but I would be embarrassed if this was the event that I planned or didn't plan, more like. Yeah. 12:15, the groom says, "Everyone come get a drink," and we see that the living room now has a bar set up with 3 bottles of champagne, 5 of prosecco, 1 bottle of white wine, 1 of red, 16 cans of beer. Oh my god, that's like nothing. There was also 1 bottle of rum, a few bottles of Coke Zero, sparkling water, and fruit juice. Okay, where's the snacks? To recap, we are 35 people, and this was meant to last us till 9 p.m. Oh, jokes. Can confirm no one got drunk, and we ran out of drinks quite quickly in the afternoon. Shocker. Shocker. Yeah, this is not surprising at all. As for the food, they pulled up a table and served some amuse-bouche, finger food bites. These were really tasty and quite fancy, but defo not enough for everyone to feel full. Yeah, it's like crudités probably. Maybe a cheese plate or something, charcuterie board, I don't know. But either way, yeah, like, can I subsist having, and this is lunch, but can I subsist having dinner on a cheese plate? Absolutely. Oh, give me the fucking fromage, please. Give me all the fucking fromage. Okay. However, I understand some other people have larger appetites than I do. So this would never be what I would provide for an event and have that be the only thing. If it were potluck, yeah, sure. But it's not a potluck. This is a freaking wedding. Okay. Yeah. It's embarrassing. The afternoon kept going, still no chairs or tables. The older people, like parents, bride of the groom, were definitely getting tired. Then throughout the afternoon, they organized a couple of games, although they did not organize them as they asked a friend of ours to do so. So it's probably the only thing that went appropriately in the whole entire wedding. Because nothing else certainly has gone appropriately to what a wedding should be. Leon says, I'd never put my future queen through all that nonsense. Short marriage. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. But I mean, to be fair, usually weddings are mainly planned by the lady. Not all the time. There are definitely some grooms that really want to get their say in, but usually it's planned by the brides, mostly. Or the majority, at least over 50% is usually planned by the brides. So, it's her fault too. She put her through this. She put herself through this. It's more the bigger issue here is not what she has gone through as the bride. It's what the guests are going through. They are not accommodating the guests. So my opinion on weddings is that it's your day, it's your event. Things should go how you want it to go, with the caveat that things are done in a way that also accommodates your guests' comfort, and, overall contentness. And these people are not thinking of the guests in any way, shape, or form. It's actually ridiculous. Pathetic, really. And there's a time and a place for a picnic. Yeah, yeah. The mud. Well, actually, no, at this point they're on the boat. The houseboat. Weird. Yeah, so the games are probably the only thing that were well organized because someone else organized it after they requested them to do so. One of them was a quiz on the bride and groom, One was a sort of Enigma escape game, which I'm sure all of them probably wanted to escape at that point anyway, so that is very, very fitting. Which was the highlight of the day, but again, organized and led by a friend of ours. And then they had a friend of theirs playing the guitar and singing for an hour. So the rest of the 8 hours you just spent doing what? Because if you ran out of drinks pretty quickly and you ran out of, I'm assuming you also ran out of food fairly quickly and you played 2 games, what was the rest of what were you doing? Oh my God, that's wild. I would protest. I wouldn't be there, but if I were, I would protest. All the while the captain was hanging around with everyone. Then came the time for the speeches from the family. It lasted an hour. Again, all standing up, looking at everyone talking. I would have left. I don't think houseboats usually float anywhere or drive or ride anywhere or sail anywhere. I don't know the right terminology. I'm not a sailor. But I would have left. Yeah. So it should still be docked. I would have left. Definitely. I wouldn't have been there in the first place, but I would have left. And Leon says, sounds like a social nightmare wrapped in a cocoon of misery. Yeah. Yeah, wrapped in an Enigma escape game. I'm going to have nightmares about this. Yeah, just add that to your list of things to have CPTSD about. This might actually count as actual PTSD. But anyways. I hate speeches at weddings. That's like my least favorite part of a wedding, is the speeches. So that sounds like a real nightmare too, just all on its own. An hour of speeches is too much. I feel like 15 minutes, like the parents of the bride can make a 5-minute speech. The parents of the groom can make a 5-minute speech. Okay, 20 minutes. The best man can make a 5-minute speech and the maid of honor can make a 5-minute speech. That's all it should be. People don't have the time, like the attention span for that. I speak for all the ADD queens out there, and kings too. I'm sure most of you agree that an hour is way too long, way too long, for speeches while everyone is standing. That is insane. That is actually insane. So, goodness gracious. At 6 p.m., they served sheet cakes. Well, at least that's some proper food. It's carbs. It's carbs. Leon says barges do embark, I guess. The type in Holland don't. They're more permanent. Well, this is in Paris, so they didn't specify if it, I mean, they said it's a houseboat, so I feel like most houseboats usually just kind of stay docked for the most part. I don't know if they're like always fit for water, but anyways. And then Leon says, I'd take a book to the wedding. Yeah. No, I would be on my phone the whole time. I would be like playing games on my phone and stuff. But I would also not be there. Or I would be sitting down somewhere. I would literally kick out a senior person from the couch, the one couch that the captain has. Yeah, you would writing down all the trauma that you've suffered from this going to this event. Yeah. That would be probably take up an entire journal, whereas most entries probably just take up a paragraph or two. Yeah. And then after the sheet cakes, nothing really happened until 8:30. As we were told we were going to be kicked out by 9, we had planned with our group of friends to leave by 8:30 so that we could still have time to go to a restaurant. However, around 8 p.m., the groom said he was trying to negotiate with the captain to allow us to stay longer. They managed to do so until 11:30. I would have said, hell no. However, no food at all was served as dinner. So here's why I don't understand. There are all these people there, and none of them have pieced out. None of them have dipped. I don't get it. I don't understand. You are the master of your own universe. If you are not enjoying yourself in any way, shape, or form, and this is prolonged torture, which it sounds like it is, Why aren't you leaving? Leave. Everyone should have left. Should have been a mass exodus, especially when they negotiated more time. Goodness gracious. However, no food at all was served as dinner. No shit. They weren't planning for that. Your dinner was the she cake, babe. Your dinner was the she cake. They had said we may order pizzas, but that never happened. Again, are we surprised? No, I'm certainly not. We got home at 12 p.m. a.m. probably and had to Uber eat something as we were starving. Yes, and here's the capitals I was talking about earlier. These are capitals. I thought Leon was saying something was capitalized, but indeed he was talking about the capital of France being Paris. There's my brain. Also, as the captain hadn't planned to originally have us until then, some of his own friends showed up around 10 p.m. and we were just hanging around with us. It was weird. Also, between 9:30 and 11:30 p.m., the groom decided to play a mix set of techno. He mixed himself live, but like no one had anything to drink and we were all exhausted from standing up all day. It was just awkward. Yeah. Again, why are you still there? You didn't have to stay. You did not have to stay. You didn't have to go in the first place, but you certainly didn't have to stay. It's basically self-induced torture at this point. Leon says people do barge voyages through the UK and France. I've done it. Yeah, but this is not a barge voyage. They said it's captain's houseboat as opposed to a barge. I don't really know the difference. I'm not a boat person. I mean, like, I love being on a boat. I don't know the difference between all the different kinds of boats. When I say I'm not a boat person, I love being on a boat. So I am a boat person in that way. I just don't know the difference between the kind of boats. I'm just like, ooh, I'm on the water. Oh, this is exciting. I love being on the water. Yes, more being on the water. One thing I love about being on a boat, especially if you're doing like a boat tour or something like a Sail Croatia, which I did a few years ago, is that your closet travels with you. As a shopaholic and a chronic overpacker, I very much appreciate getting to see multiple places and not have to keep unpacking and repacking and unpacking and repacking. So I love a boat for that, but also the rocking definitely gives you a really good sleep. So anyway, at this point I'm kind of like I'm kind of thinking like, oh no, I'm dropping my flag. I dropped it. Oh no. I've dropped my flag. I've knocked my horn out of place. This is the mess. Anyway, red flag toward OP. Red flag to OP for not just leaving at some point. My goodness. Oh, this is embarrassing. I hate when people see me with my horns out of place. It's ridiculous. Okay. Ish. Anyway. And Leon says, I'm good at vanishing. Nobody would notice me gone from that hellscape of a wedding. Yeah, I mean, you're not too far from Ireland. So the Irish exit is probably like in your blood. It's in there, or at least it's in the water, the surrounding water. Yeah, I would just leave. Honestly, I don't think I would make a big stink about it, but I could. I don't know. It depends on how pissed I am. And when I say pissed, I don't mean drunk. I mean angry because nobody got drunk. I'd be pretty angry at that point. And Leon is waving his own red flag. Yes. Yeah, so OP has the red flag. Yeah, I can't. And like I said earlier, I really need to highlight before I go on a rant. But everyone's exhausted from standing up all day. Okay, I just left it at the bottom. That was fine. Also, random add-on here, but they had asked people to bring a change of clothes for the day, as in semi-formal for the wedding, and then something fun and daring for the boat party. Only one couple did so, and both dressed up in a Japanese kimono. I hope. Oh dear. The bride and all her family are Chinese. I was about to say, I hope they're Japanese. Oh dear. Leon was born on St. Patty's Day. Oh, awesome. Okay, yeah. So it's probably like in your birth charts or something. I don't know about those, but I am an Aries year of the dragon. So I'm very fiery fire. But yeah, born on St. Patty's Day. That's a fun one. Were you born drunk? Possible. I feel like anyone born on St. Patty's Day should be like predisposed. Just a little buzzed. Not like not in a weird bad way. Anyway, it's late. I was up late last night streaming too. And Leon's a Pisces. Yeah, that's the one that comes before Aries. So like I think a week after St. Patty's Day, or just under a week after St. Patty's Day is when Aries starts. And my fabulous little um sleeping sleeping fur baby Bond is he was just born into being an Aries. He is a March 22nd baby. Also year of the dragon, just like his mama. um yes. So the random add-on, they asked people to bring okay, so really awkward that the only people who brought something to change into brought a cultural piece and they were not part of that culture. Leon says, I haven't been to bed since yesterday when I came on here. Oh no, have you been falling down the Owens rabbit hole? I really hope that's what you've been wasting your time with because it's very interesting. But that's a really long time to be awake. So definitely get some sleep after this. Okay. Day 2. 2 days before the wedding were filled with WhatsApp messages in different groups regarding loads of last minute changes and add-ons. Not surprising. For example, the day before, the groom asked if one of the groom asked in one of the groups if people could bring Bluetooth speakers. Yeah, you already said that. Or they sent a picture of themselves in front of 2 trees and said, "This is where we'll meet up." How helpful. Oh my God. Leon did fall down the Owens rabbit hole for a bit, but had a super busy day. Yeah, I hope you started the rabbit hole with the Love Trap podcast because it really is a very good lead into the Owens verse of it all. But yeah, make sure to get some rest after this. So all guests, 80 people, including kids and dogs, were asked to show up at 12 and that the ceremony would start at 1. So why do you have to be there at 12? The ceremony is starting at 1. This makes no sense. So husband and I showed up to the 2 trees. You happen to hunt down the right trees. How did you know which trees? How did you know which trees? Oh my God. Leon has indeed started the podcast. Good. It's so good. It's such a good podcast. So husband and I showed up at about 10 past 12. At the mentioned location, no sign of the couple or guests. Text friends to learn that some had shown up at 11:30 to see no one, and the park was getting busy, so they decided to take the lead and secure an area. Oh, interesting. They still had to ask people to leave as there was not one space under the tree shade that was free, really. Oh. For those who don't remember, we were also asked to bring our own food and drinks and were encouraged to share as well. Oh my God. It was also meant to be pissing rain with no plan B, but lucky for them, they had a nice enough weather all weekend long. Not deserved though. True. A couple arrived around 12:30. In the meantime, some guests helped putting up some decorations on the tree. The bride showed up in a summer dress, the groom in shorts, runners, and a Hawaiian shirt. Classy. Then they start prepping the ceremony area with some balloons while they tell people to start eating. Okay, so this is ceremony like theater. It's like ceremony dinner instead of theater dinner. Is it dinner theater? Dinner ceremony. So weird. This is the weirdest wedding I've ever heard of. I've heard of a lot of weird weddings. There are no chairs. None. Duh. It's a picnic. You're supposed to bring a blanket to sit on. Okay, this one, they should have known. They should have known. Also, they didn't provide chairs in places the previous day where you would actually have expected chairs to be. So why would you expect them to provide chairs somewhere where you shouldn't be expecting chairs? Let's have some logic. So people are meant to sit on the ground to eat. Yes, it's a picnic. And stand during the ceremony. No, you don't stand. You stay either you're sitting or you're standing. No, they don't get to be picky about that. Friend's husband and I sat together and shared our food and drinks while the prep kept going in the background. Then we're given the go ahead to come stand in a semicircle around the couple. Oh my God. Seating in chairs. Okay, so they did have chairs while the rest of us stands. Oh, the couple is seated in chairs. Oh, how nice. How nice that they had chairs for themselves. Oh my goodness gracious. Leon says whatever it is, it's not of this world. Yeah, this whole thing is otherworldly. It's from the Upside Down or something. I only watched the first season of that show, then it started getting scary, so I dipped out. So I don't know much more about the Upside Down, and I don't want to. Anyway. My husband was asked to be the flower girl despite his complaints. And they added a flower crown to his head. He was not happy and pretty much was eye rolling the whole time. Too bad for their nice pictures. Again, he could have said no and been firm about it. Goodness gracious, these people can't say no. I don't get it. One of our friends was the officiant and did a great job with that little info and guidance he was given. But then speeches started again. They already had speeches. Come on, once is more than enough. Let's be real here. When organizing the ceremony, the officiant reached out to friends and family of both sides to ask if they wanted to make a speech. Very little people said they would, so he had asked my husband if he could make a speech as a favor. Turns out that 5 minutes before the ceremony, he is told that 8 more people will be speaking after all. I would have dipped out. This lasted an hour and a half. 1 hour was enough. 1 hour was way too much. And honestly, after the speeches from the day before, there's only so much more that can be said about the couple. We get it. She's smart. He's fun. She loves yoga. He loves tech. Interesting switch up there. And if I hear one more joke with, I asked ChatGPT to write my speech. No, I'm joking. Ha ha ha. I'll kill someone. Please don't kill anyone, but maybe kill ChatGPT. I don't know. But also standing an hour and a half to listen to boring speeches while bugs were dropping from the trees on us was just a nightmare. Kids were getting super frustrated as well. Poor things. Why were their children there? They don't care about their guests. They don't care about their people. The face of the couple was absolute. Oh, I missed one. Okay. The officiant even made a joke about how we could see some people getting weak in the knees, so could sit down. But oh no, the chairs haven't arrived yet. Ha 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 ha. The face of the couple was absolutely priceless. Loved having them getting a bit of shade. They took whatever little shade they had, I guess. He had a friend of his bring the rings in a little pouch. Oh, I missed one. Sorry. Then they did the exchange of the rings, and the groom had organized a little prank on his wife, which he thought would be fun. They had a friend of his bring the rings in a little pouch attached to a few helium-filled balloons. They then pretended to let go of one of the balloons, and they obviously flew away with the wind with the supposed rings. The bride and most people were kind of horrified. Yeah. And he let that joke go for a good 5 minutes. That is way too long to let a prank hang in the air like that. A prank like that. Leaving the bride panicking about their rings and him saying it's just material things and accidents happen. Then another friend came up and said that it was a joke. Ha ha. Here are the rings. Giant eye roll. Ceremony ended, and we all went back to our blankets to finish our sandwiches. And then they finally came around with the food they had promised. We each got 1 cherry, 1 apricot, 1 piece of sheet cake left over from the day before. Cool. Well, yeah, because you brought your own food. Why were they giving any food away? Anyway, Then we had a train to catch, so didn't stay much longer, but they apparently did another game in the afternoon and a group pick with a drone. That was it. From speaking to the family of both the bride and groom over the 2 days, we know that they were all pretty disappointed with the weekend as well. So that was it. Defo won't be participating to their wedding fund there or sending a gift. No, yeah, no, obviously not. Uh, you shouldn't have really participated in the wedding, period. But anyway, I still don't understand what's wrong with them. And our friend group and us have all decided to take a break from the couple, at least for a few months. So we're really pissed off by the lack of respect from this joke of a wedding. Yeah, I would probably cut them out. The amount of wedding stories that I read where the couple no longer talk to the entire bridal party or most, if not all, of their guests after the wedding is over, it's quite a lot. Maybe you would be surprised, maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. Once again, weddings bring out the crazy in people. Leon says, I just keep sitting here shaking my head and rolling my eyes. You're a fun night out. Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, lots of eye rolling going on here behind the flaming shades. I just don't understand why they punish themselves by staying and participating and going so far as to end up being the flower boy and all that stupid shit, standing in the mud. I don't get it. I don't understand. It's a red flag to all the attendees who put up with this shit when it comes down to it. So I don't even feel bad for them. I don't. But that is where I'm going to leave it tonight. I had 3 more stories pulled up, but I'm too tangential to read them. So what I am going to do, because I didn't pull up one of the cute cat compilations that I had planned to potentially pull up, because that's on my main Instagram account and that is a secret identity. So what I did pull up is, since you guys love Bond so much, and he's too sleepy to come on screen today, I pulled up the first time I ever met him. So enjoy the first time I ever met Bond. Oh, I'm not sharing that tab. That would be helpful. I'm sharing that tab now. Okay, there you go. He was just the cutest little fluff ball in the universe and continues to be the cutest little fluff ball in the universe. Look at this little baby. He's just so cute, and he still had bright blue eyes back then. Oh my goodness gracious. And he still has the same playing mannerisms as he did back then. So this is Bond's little origin story. Bond, James Bond, of course. So enjoy watching him scrambling about on my lap. And yeah, have a wonderful evening. Bye guys.